noise of the world, beyond forests of silver trees and hills that glowed under the moonlight, there was a quiet lake. They called it the Whispering Lake because it was said that the wind carried the lake's voice, gentle and soft, like the world's oldest lullaby. The lake never shouted, never moved wildly. It simply rippled in the moonlight, calm and endless, reflecting the stars above as if the sky had come down to rest in its waters. At the edge of the lake lived a woman named Anaya. She had come to this place many years ago, seeking peace after a busy life in a faraway city. In the city, the nights were never dark, the silence never real. But here, by the lake, the silence was alive, deep, breathing, full of meaning. Every evening, Anaya would light a small lantern outside her cottage, watch the sun fade behind the mountains, and listen as the first whisper of the lake reached her. Rest, it seemed to say. Everything can rest. One cool evening, the moon rose early. The lake shimmered like a silver blanket, and Anaya noticed something new. A tiny boat, floating gently near the reeds. She'd never seen it before. Curious, she stepped closer, the wooden dock creaking softly under her feet. Inside the boat lay a folded piece of parchment. When she opened it, she found just a few words, greater than, "Follow the stillness." It will show you the way she smiled, unsure whether someone had left it by accident or if it was a message meant for her. That night, as she lay in bed, she couldn't stop thinking about the words. "Follow the stillness," she whispered to herself before drifting to sleep. In her dream, she was on the same lake, rowing that tiny boat across the silver water. The stars above moved slowly like fireflies frozen in time, and though she didn't know where she was going, she felt no fear. The lake whispered again, "Be still, and you will hear what the heart has forgotten." When she woke, the morning sun was spilling through her window, soft and golden. She felt lighter somehow, as if the dream had taken away something heavy. For the first time in years, she didn't rush to plan her day. She simply sat by the window, watched the ripples on the water, and let herself breathe. Days passed. Every evening, she would walk by the lake and listen. And every time she did, the lake seemed to tell her a new secret. One evening, a gentle rain began to fall. The lake's surface danced with tiny circles of light, and the smell of wet earth filled the air. Anaya lifted her face toward the sky, letting the cool drops wash over her. The rain whispered softly through the trees, and she realized something. She hadn't felt lonely in a very long time. The lake had become her friend, her listener, her teacher, and that night, she dreamed again. She saw herself as a little girl, standing by a different lake, holding her father's hand. He was telling her, whenever life becomes too heavy, come back to the water. The water remembers who we are. When she awoke, she understood. All her life she'd run, from one thing to another, from noise to noise. But the lake had been teaching her the opposite, to stop running, to listen, to be still. The next morning, she took the little boat and rowed slowly to the middle of the lake. The water was perfectly calm, not a single ripple. She closed her eyes and whispered, "Thank you for teaching me to rest." For a long time she stayed like that, listening to the sound of her breath blending with the whisper of the lake. And as she did, she felt her thoughts grow quiet, her body grow lighter, and her mind drift into a deep, peaceful silence. From that day on, the villagers noticed something beautiful. The lake seemed even calmer, even brighter. They said it was because the lake had finally found someone who truly understood its song. Anaya still lived there, by the the same again. She smiled more. She spoke softly. And at night, when the stars came out, she would whisper to the lake, and the lake would whisper back, "Rest, little soul. Everything can rest." And as you listen now, imagine yourself by that same lake, the air cool and still, the stars endless above you, your breath slow and soft. Each breath you take ripples across the water, and with every exhale the ripples fade, taking your worries away. Let the night hold you. Let the stars guard your dreams. And let sleep come gently like the whispering lake calling